Have you ever wondered what happens to a place after the animals leave? Not just any place, but grand sanctuaries, vibrant zoos, and unique animal parks that once bustled with life. Today, we're embarking on a journey to explore the forgotten animal havens of the world. These are the untold stories of places that were once epicenters of animal life, now standing silent, reclaimed by nature. What led to their rise, and more importantly, what caused their fall? Our first stop takes us to a place that feels like it, straight out of a fantasy novel, the Enchanted Forest Theme Park in Maryland, USA. Opened in 1955, this storybook park was a magical escape for families. It wasn't just about fairy tales. It had a beloved petting zoo where kids could interact with goats, lambs, and other friendly creatures. Imagine the laughter echoing through the trees as children fed the animals. For decades, it was a local treasure. But as bigger, more thrilling amusement parks emerged, the Enchanted Forest struggled to compete. Visitor numbers dwindled, and by the early 1990s, the park closed its gates for good. The animal enclosures fell silent. Today, what remains are eerie, moss-covered statues of Humpty Dumpty and Willie the Whale, standing guard over a forest that has taken back its land. The petting zoo is just a memory, a poignant reminder that even the most magical places aren't immune to the passage of time. Next, we travel across the Atlantic to the abandoned Glasgow Zoo in Scotland. This zoo had a much more complex and troubled history. Founded in 1947, it was built on a sprawling estate with high hopes of becoming a major zoological institution. For a time, it was. It housed a diverse collection of animals, including lions, tigers, and bears. It was famous for its pet chimpanzees. Who would have tea parties for visitors, a practice that seems unthinkable today, but was a huge draw back then? However, the zoo was plagued with problems from the start. Financial difficulties, concerns over animal welfare, and a series of escapes created a storm of controversy. Reports of animals living in cramped, inadequate conditions tarnished its reputation. Despite efforts to modernize and improve, the zoo couldn't shake its negative image. In 2003, after years of struggle, the Glasgow Zoo shut down permanently. The animals were relocated to other facilities, but the empty cages and overgrown enclosures remain. Walking through the ruins today, you can almost hear the faint roar of a lion or the chatter of chimps, ghosts of a well-intentioned but ultimately failed sanctuary. It serves as a stark lesson in the immense responsibility that comes with caring for wild animals. Now, let's head to a place that's both fascinating and bizarre, the abandoned Griffith Sculpture Park and Zoo in rural Argentina. This wasn't your typical zoo. It was the passion project of a single, eccentric man, an artist who wanted to combine his love for sculpture with his fascination for exotic animals. In the 1960s, he populated his vast property with not only his strange, abstract statues, but also with kangaroos, camels, and even a few big cats. It was a surreal roadside attraction, a place where art and nature collided in the most unexpected way. For a while, it was a local curiosity, but running a private zoo is an incredibly demanding and expensive endeavor. After the founder's death, there was no one with the same passion or resources to keep his strange dream alive. The animals were gradually sold or moved to other homes, and the park was left to decay. The sculptures now stand among crumbling enclosures, rusted cages blending with twisted metal art. It's a hauntingly beautiful scene, a testament to a singular vision that couldn't be sustained. It makes you think about the line between passion and practicality, and the fate of dreams that are too big for one person to carry alone. Our journey continues to the sunny shores of Florida, home to the remains of splendid China, a theme park that offered a very different kind of animal experience. Opened in 1993 near Orlando, this massive 75-acre park was a replica of China's most famous landmarks, complete with miniature versions of the Great Wall and the Forbidden City. It was an ambitious project meant to be a cultural bridge. But beyond the stunning architecture, splendid China had live entertainment, including incredible acrobats and a stable of Mongolian horses. These magnificent animals were part of a grand arena show, reenacting the conquests of Genghis Khan with skilled riders performing breathtaking stunts. The show was a highlight, showcasing the power and grace of these beautiful horses. However, the park was mired in controversy from day one. Protests over its ties to the Chinese government and accusations of propaganda hurt its image. Despite the spectacle, it never drew the massive crowds it needed to survive in the hyper-competitive Orlando market. By 2003, just 10 years after it opened, Splendid China closed down. The horses were sold, the performers went home, and the miniature landmarks were left to be swallowed by the Florida jungle. The grand arena where the horses once thundered is now a field of weeds, a silent stage for a show that will never be performed again. Let's venture to a place that tells a story not just of abandonment, but of disaster, the old New Orleans Zoo in Audubon Park. Before the world-renowned Audubon Zoo we know today, there was a much older, more traditional facility on the same grounds. This early 20th century zoo was a classic collection of iron bar cages and concrete enclosures, a stark contrast to the modern, habitat-focused designs we expect now. It was a product of its time, but its story took a dramatic turn in 1965 with Hurricane Betsy, a catastrophic storm that devastated New Orleans. The zoo was hit hard. Floodwaters rose and the situation became dire. In a heartbreaking decision to prevent dangerous animals from escaping into the flooded city, more than 250 animals had to be euthanized. It was a tragedy born from a nightmare scenario. The event was a major catalyst for change. The city realized that the old zoo was not only outdated, but also dangerously vulnerable. This led to the complete redesign and rebuilding of the facility, transforming it into the modern Audubon Zoo. The remnants of the old cages were demolished, but the memory of that terrible day served as a powerful lesson. It highlights how natural disasters can irrevocably change the fate of these havens, and forced a necessary evolution in how we design and protect our zoos. Finally, we explore a story of hope and transformation at the Lions of Tsavo compound in South Africa. This wasn't a public zoo, but a private sanctuary run by a famous conservationist who specialized in rehabilitating problem lions, those that had come into conflict with humans. For years, this facility was a safe haven, a place where these magnificent predators could live out their days in peace. However, upon the owner's death, the future of the sanctuary and its resident lions became uncertain. The property fell into disrepair, and the lions' fate hung in the balance. But this story doesn't end in decay. A global community of conservationists and animal lovers rallied together. They raised funds and organized a massive, complex operation to relocate the remaining lions to a new, larger, and more secure sanctuary. It was a race against time, filled with logistical challenges. The successful relocation was a monumental achievement, a testament to what can be accomplished when people unite for a common cause. The old compound now stands empty, but it's not a symbol of failure. It is a symbol of transition, a place that served its purpose until a better future could be secured for its inhabitants. It's a powerful reminder that even when a physical place is forgotten, the spirit of conservation and the lives it protected can move on and thrive elsewhere. From magical forests to controversial parks, from natural disasters to incredible rescue missions, the stories of these forgotten animal havens are as diverse as the creatures they once housed. They are monuments to ambition, passion, and sometimes failure. They teach us about the ethics of animal captivity, the challenges of conservation, and the relentless power of nature to reclaim what was once hers. As we look at these silent cages and empty fields, we are reminded of the profound responsibility we have towards the animals we choose to bring into our world. Their stories didn't end when the gates closed, they simply transformed. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the past. If you found these stories as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next exploration into the world's hidden histories. See you next time.